Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Quick Q&A where I answer all your questions that came in throughout different YouTube videos. People leave lots of comments, ask lots of questions, and I'm going to try to feature them in this video series. If you want one of your questions answered on another episode, please leave your questions in the comment below. And if you like what you see on this channel and my videos, and these types of videos are helping you, and you'd like to support the channel, look in the description box below. There's a link to help support us here at Home Recording Made Easy, and I want to thank you in advance for doing that. So this week's question is an interesting question, and I get a few of these types of questions. This came in from Music by Steve, and Music by Steve writes in, "Hey David, hope you are doing well. I am looking to get into hybrid mixing and add some analog hardware to my setup. What do you suggest the first piece for me to buy? I do have to be mindful of budget, and I want to do this slowly over time, so I thought building out my setup one phase at a time would be a good approach. Right now I have a budget of about $2,500. If you were in my shoes, how would you spend that money? Thanks in advance, Music by Steve." Well, Music by Steve, thank you so much for writing in. This is an interesting question. I've gotten this kind of a question a couple of times. So you've been mixing all in the box, and now you want to try to add some analog hardware to your setup and get into more of a hybrid approach, which is kind of what I do here. And I'm going to be doing more of this over the next 6 to 12 months, and I'll make sure I create videos to help you guys along the way and show you what I'm doing. But anyway, back to Steve's question. If you have no analog hardware at all and you're completely in the box, the very first thing I think I would focus on, especially if we're looking at about a $2,500 budget, is I would start with your 2-bus. That's where I would start. So I would put something, look to get some gear on your 2-bus first before you worry about buying racks and racks of gear for all your individual channels or your bus or group channels. So on your master bus, you want to look at something like $2,500. I'd be looking at a good compressor and or a good color box. Sometimes you'll find some equipment that has a compressor with some saturation and that kind of stuff all built into one box, or you could just get 2 separate boxes, and there's lots of things on the market. Again, the best thing to do is to kind of do some research, and if you have an opportunity to go to your local shop to listen to some things, that would be good. But check out a good compressor first and foremost. $2,500, you could certainly get a good compressor. Somewhere between that $1,500 to $2,500 range, you could get a really, really good mixed bus compressor, and that's where I would start. And actually, for that money, you could probably get yourself a really good mixed bus compressor, and maybe even like some saturation or some kind of other color box, something like the SSL Fusion, something like that has some drive and some other different harmonic color that you can add to the mix, as well as a mixed bus compressor. The one thing I would advise you not to do, Steve, is a lot of times you could find very, very inexpensive types of units where maybe you can buy a compressor, a saturator, and even an EQ for less than $1,000, a few $100s a piece. And although I'm sure there's some great pieces out there, be careful that if you're going to get in the hybrid mixing, try to buy quality pieces of equipment. Now, you said you're going to be doing this over time and you want to do this one step at a time, which is a really great approach. Just don't buy any old thing just to run your signal through some hardware. Make sure you're buying a good quality piece. And again, if you could try this stuff out and listen to some stuff, or look online and find different engineers that you kind of admire or look up to or are learning from, and see what they're using, and you can make an informed decision. You can also click the link in the description box below and go to sweetwater.com and talk to one of the sales engineers there. They're perfect for something like this. If you can let them know what kind of music that you're going to be producing, what your style is, what your budget is, and kind of give them some background, they could kind of point you in the right direction as well. So definitely go to sweetwater.com. Again, the links are in the description box below to go out to Sweetwater, and you're also helping support me here at Home Recording Made Easy, as it's an affiliate link, but that's definitely a great resource for you. So what do I use? Currently, I am using the Tegular Audio manufactures the Creme, which is a bus compressor, kind of an SSL style bus compressor, along with an EQ, which is kind of a Pultec style, all in one box. Really, really nice unit. I've done a YouTube channel on that. You can check that out. So that's one avenue that you can go in, and that will certainly fall in that $2,500, actually a little bit less than that budget. But again, there are so many options out there for you. But if you were going to start hybrid mixing, I would start on the 2-bus first, a compressor, maybe a color box as well, or saturation of some kind. And then the next step would maybe be kind of a nice 2-bus stereo EQ as well that you can use from time to time. And then over time, you can start building backwards into your session to try to add more pieces of analog hardware where you'd like to. So I hope that answers your question. Thanks so much for writing in again. Make sure you leave your questions in the comments below, and I'll try to feature your question on an upcoming episode. And once again, all the links in the description box below. You can check out all that stuff. And until next week, I've been Dave with Home Recording Made Easy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Take care.